DA, turnkey.pro text line. Darren Bailey, of course, who I'm supporting, and I assume, Amy, you are now in the general.
And I didn't in the primary,
right?
But I am now. And it's hard to wrap ourselves around him right now because I feel as if he's doing more damage control than he is campaigning.
It's not the best post-primary election month I've ever seen from a campaign.
No, and this is a Facebook Live that he did years ago. He was a lot skinnier back then, so you could tell it was
5 years ago.
5 years ago. And comparing abortion to the atrocities of the Holocaust.
The attempted extermination of the Jews of World War II, it doesn't even compare on a shadow of the life that has been lost and with abortion since its legalization.
312-642-5600, turnkey.pro, answer line 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment that got a lot of stern reaction. Let's start with Laura Welch. She's president of the National Organization of Women.
Oh, yeah, gee, I wonder what she has to say.
You take that murder of 6 million people and you want to compare that to something like a person's right to make self-determination about their own body, about their own rights. It is so heinous. It is so disgusting.
And then there's State Rep Bob Morgan, Democrat, Highwood. He's from the Jewish caucus.
My great-grandparents were killed in the Holocaust. This is something intensely personal to me and my family. And to have somebody so cavalierly use the idea and the concept of genocide in context for political points, it's so unfathomable to me.
And, of course, Jelly Belly has a new ad up that features that remark.
Right, and he tweeted out yesterday, to equate the Holocaust to a woman's right to choose is not only disturbing, but it's also disqualifying.
Mm-hmm.
But one person that's defending Bailey, Amy Gerke from the Illinois Right to Life.
Planned Parenthood, as well as the Pritzker campaign, are using this to deflect what the real issue is. The fact that Illinois' abortion laws are radical and even too radical for many who identify as pro-choice.
That's exactly right. Amy Gerke's exactly right. Amy Gerke is a good surrogate for the Bailey campaign. Here's the thing about the comment. I mean, how many times for how many years have I said this?
Never compare anything to the Holocaust.
Pretty much. I mean, this is sort of Godwin's law, right? Godwin's law. The longer discussion on the internet goes, the possibility of Hitler being invoked trends to 1, like 100%. So for the now shrew and for that peahat Bob Morgan from Highwood, spare me. Spare me the performative moral indignation, because you're part of a party that calls everybody with whom they disagree Hitler. So spare me. That said, and for candidates listening, here's a little tip for you. Hitler is Hitler, and that's it. The Holocaust is the Holocaust, and that's it. There's no sense in comparing one atrocity to another atrocity. This isn't fantasy atrocity. Let things stand on their own and argue the merits of a particular policy impact on their own without folding in horrors from history that are asymmetrical. It's just it's a problem people have who don't think about things, who get sort of whipped into frenzy on a particular topic they're passionate about, or a particular candidate they're passionate about, or a particular candidate they're passionate about opposing. They have to trend towards hyperventilation. And you, by the way, you just heard that from that now shrew and that peahat Bob Morgan, trending towards hyperventilation.
Well, Bailey issued a response yesterday saying, quote, "The Holocaust is a human tragedy without parallel. In no way was I attempting to dismiss the atrocities of the Holocaust and its stain on history. I meant to emphasize the tragedy of millions of babies being lost.
Yeah, I understand the effort, and you're trying to, I guess, provide some sort of proportionality. Unhelpful, undisciplined, lacking in thought. And this, can be a problem that spans the political spectrum, unfortunately. There's a lot of people that are center-right, and I'm not just talking about conservatives. I mean, I'm talking about center-right, that need to be a little bit more thoughtful and a little bit more measured in their remarks. And I'm not saying you have to pull punches in anticipation of the attacks that you know will come from the left, because they're going to come anyway. I'm saying that you have to have your audience in mind and be commonsensical and accessible rhetorically. And that doesn't mean speaking at a fifth grade level, which is one of these cliches of politics I reject. It means talking to people like you would talk to them if you were having a conversation at a restaurant, rather than talking to them like you're standing at a podium at a rally trying to whip people into action and feel like you need to come over the top with motivational / incendiary rhetoric. I guess that's why I'm not such a great rally speaker, but that's okay. It's just a lesson. It's a lesson for candidates. By the way, describe Darren Bailey as thoughtless, generally speaking. Bad campaign advice, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's the work product. That's how you're going to be judged. So you got a problem. You want to take out Jelly Belly? You want to take out Lightfoot? Triple threat? You're going to need candidates that are a little bit more disciplined than they've displayed so far in the campaign. There's time. These are not mortal wounds, but it is something that should be acknowledged, and they do need to make some course corrections if they're going to be successful. I'll tell you that. Tom in Blue Island, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning, Dan and Amy. Dan, more than just disciplined, willing to fight. Bailey should have said this, well, both are tragic, but which is more tragic?
No,
that Jelly
wrong.
Belly is willing to give teens the right to an abortion without notification of their parents. If these men aren't willing to fight, they're going to get steamrolled, just like Bruce Rauner did 4 years ago.
I agree about fighting, but how you fight is also important. We're not playing fantasy atrocity. That is unproductive, to be gentle about it. Terry, Rogers Park.
Yeah, I don't see why Bailey's comparison of abortion to the Holocaust was so offensive. I think it was a good comparison.
Why?
It's murder. It's murder, just the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, Terry. Tom in Deer Park.
Yeah, Dan, Bailey's comments, ignorant and repulsive as they were from 6 years ago. And part of me almost wants to cut people some slack. And I'll give an example. When you referred to Alexander Vindeman and his dual nationality and loyalty, that's an anti-Semitic slur. But yet when you said it, I don't think you're being
excuse me.
you're being ignorant.
Excuse me. Go pound sand, you hack. You liar. I never questioned Alexander Vindman's patriotism. I questioned his professionalism as a military officer. I questioned his testimony at that sham impeachment.
It's what you said.
Go.
I
never said anything like that, you scumbag. Tom in Deer Park. And you can play that game with lesser intellects, you piece of garbage, Tom from Deer Park. You can join all those Chicago press corps types. You fancy yourself as a libertarian. You lying, disingenuous piece of garbage. You are no better than the lying, disingenuous pieces of garbage that smeared John Cass when he reported on George Soros. We reported on Alexander Vindman. I disagreed with him and I criticized him for his conduct, particularly as a military officer. They never questioned his patriotism, reported his dual citizenship. That was not any dog whistle I deployed. What you just did is a dog whistle, and you're a tool of the left, you phony libertarian scumbag piece of human garbage, Tom from Deer Park. That's how you push back against scumbag, disingenuous pieces of human garbage like the Chicago press corps who smeared John Cass and like people like Tom from Deer Park, never Trumper troglodytes.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM 560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank